We'll have a prayer, please.
Will you bow your heads with me? Dear Lord, as we come before you, we're thankful for this day and your many blessings, and thankful for everything that you do for us. We ask you just now that you bless this meeting, that you bless anything that we do. Let it be done in accordance with you, dear God, that we better serve the people of Pike County. We ask you, Lord, to bless the soldiers that's on foreign fields today, dear Lord, and give them a safe journey home. We have many in our community that are sick and afflicted. We've had many deaths and funerals the last few weeks. We ask you, Lord, to be with those people and touch them in a way only that you can, and watch over and keep us all safe. We ask us all in the name of Jesus Christ and for his sake. Amen.
Amen. All right. Meeting come to order. Roll call, please, Lisa.
Judge Deskins.
Here.
Magistrate Anderson.
Here.
Magistrate Compton.
Here.
Magistrate Murphy.
Here.
Magistrate Robinson.
Here.
Magistrate Dodson.
Here.
Magistrate Varney.
Here.
All right. Leo, would you lead us in the pledge?
Get up here. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. For approval and discussion, adoption of the resolution declaring the existence of an emergency. Herbie? And Keith?
No, Keith's got it there.
Summary. What'd you say? I was asking, would you?
What was you going
I don't know.
Yeah. Have you got anything?
Yeah, I've got it here, right here. I thought Keith was going.
Okay.
Have you got it in your book there, Keith?
I didn't know what was the motion or what was the statement.
Adoption of a emergency.
Sure. Sure, I didn't hear you. Sorry about that. Y'all go ahead. I'll go ahead right now and go ahead and state the ordinance number 6.29.18, proposed order dated June 28, 2009. It's an adoption today of a resolution declaring an emergency ordinance. There was a upon motion. There was motion and second's already been made last time. Is that correct?
Yes.
The Pike County Fort now adopts resolution number 6.29.18 declaring an emergency exists upon this is a proposed ordinance today. It's on the second reading, whereas Kentucky law requires Pike County Fiscal Court have a balanced budget before 11:59 p.m. on June 30th, 2018. And whereas if the Pike County Fiscal Court failed to file a balanced budget on or before that date or before that time, Pike County government would shut down at 12 midnight on July 1, 2018. County would be unable to legally pay its debts and its employees. Now, therefore, it be resolved that the Pike County Fiscal Court, pursuant to KRS 67.078, subsection 2, it's proposed that the court declare an emergency to exist because of failure to meet the advertisement requirements set forth by KRS 68.011 and 260 and 424.130, purpose of adopting a balanced budget within the allotted statutory period. The vote was taken, and, the first reading of vote was taken. Second reading today upon motion, and if there be motion and votes taken, it's proposed that the judge would this day enter this emergency.
All right. I need a motion to adopt.
Motion.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson.
Yes.
Magistrate Compton.
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy.
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson. Yes. Magistrate Dodson.
Yes.
Magistrate Varney.
Yes.
Judge Deskins.
Yes. Energy adoption by FY 2018-2019 budget to be effective July 1, 2018. County Attorney?
The summary of the budget, if anybody needs, we can always go into more specific. The summary analysis shows that the total general fund is budgeted at $10,961,484. Road fund of $7,331,523. A jail fund, $5,137,810. Local government economic assistance fund, $2,308,728. Federal grant budgeted amounts is $492,815. The Forest Fire Protection Fund, budget $34,113. Solid Waste Fund, $6,239,389. Recaptured LGEDF Local Government Fund, Special Fund, $716,892. Another special fund, the Maintenance Garage Fund, $1,155,589. And these all total up to the budgeted, total budgeted revenues, $34,378,343. The appropriations would be in likewise amounts in each category. The total amounts, I'll read them off again. That's the revenues, do it by appropriations again. General fund, $10,961,484. Road fund, $7,331,523. Jail fund, $5,137,810. Local government economic assistance fund, $2,308,728. Federal grant, $492,815. Forest Fire Protection Fund, $34,113. Solid Waste Fund, $6,239,389. Special Fund, recaptured LGEDF funds, $716,892. And there's another special fund, Maintenance Garage Fund, $1,155,589. Total of $34,378,000. That's the summary.
I need a motion.
Judge, I'd like to make a motion that we accept it as read.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson,
Before I vote, Judge, I'd just like to thank everybody that played a part in getting everything caught up and up to speed. Frankie, Pam, and I'm sure there's others that worked literally day and night for the last, 2, 3, 4 weeks. I know we had some outside people came in, and I think you all need to be commended for going above and beyond the call of duty, if you will, and making the best of a bad situation and dedicating your time and your resources to getting the county back on track. And I greatly appreciate everything y'all have done. And I vote yes.
Magistrate Compton,
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy,
Vote yes, but I want to commend everybody too, because I know they worked tirelessly to get it, so appreciate everyone that's worked on it.
Magistrate Robinson, Magistrate Dodson,
Yes, and I also want to comment on what a fantastic job you guys have done working together, overcoming the hurdle that we didn't think we could do. And it takes everybody doing that, working together. And DLG, I want to say we appreciate them coming in and assisting you guys and getting everything on track. You know, we had nothing to hide. It was just a slip, and we've corrected it as far as I know, and we got to move on and do the best we can. And Pam, I guess you stepped in and helped Frankie and all the other workers up there, Frankie, that you had. You know, we just can't thank them enough, and this should show the next administration, you know, how well y'all done your job, and hopefully they'll take that in consideration. Thank you.
Measure Varney?
Yeah, just a few comments. I'll echo what those people, what other fellow masters said and stuff. Frankie, thanks for the job that you're doing, but I knew you could do it. Pam, thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. A lot of work, hard work, and dedication from not only you, but the people that worked with you up there, and I really appreciate that. I think you all showed what Pike County is all about, really. That, you know, when you're called upon to do the job and stuff, and we're not going to get into details about that, but just thank you for the job that you've done, and I vote yes.
Also, Judge, I think Jeff went up maybe and helped them a little bit, and we want to remember you, Jeff.
Well, I appreciate it. I didn't do a whole lot, but I was up there enough to realize they probably didn't need my help. I may have been just more in the way than anything, but thanks, Magistrate Dodson.
Judge Daskins?
Yes, and Frankie,
Judge Deskins,
appreciate you taking the job.
could I be recognized to talk on a subject of urgency?
Do what now?
I'd like to speak on something of urgency.
What is this that's urgent?
It is a place that needs attention that was washed out, and I did go through, I'd even called Jackie Darrell this morning. I'm still waiting for a return call at 9 o'clock. I had got a call from a gentleman that had been put off by Danny Brandon and them, but if I could, I mean, if you let me speak, I can go into a little more detail with it. But it needs, as I'm speaking right now, it needs somebody to go and be looking at it and at least dipping the inlet part of a drain out, at least for now.
Bob, could you wait until Jackie Darrell's comments, and maybe you and him can talk about it, so we can move on with our agenda, and then, you know.
Well, okay, but it needs to be got on, and Jackie Darrell, hey, you know, in the words of Jed Clampett, pitiful, pitiful, pitiful at the apathy.
We got a motion and a second on the floor, gentlemen.
Thank you, Mr. Varney.
I don't have any copy of,
No,
oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Frankie, thank you for taking the job, and you've been here 17 years, and I've known you for about 15, and all I know is good about you're able to do the numbers. Thank you.
Appreciate that, Judge.
All right, now, Frankie, treasurer's business.
Authorize a standing order to pre-approve certain recurring expenses as part of the FY 2018-19 budget. The list is part of our budget that we need to send into Frankfurt. It's just a list of recurring payroll, fringe benefits, utility expenses that we get a standing order approved for every year to pay those as they come.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson?
Yes.
Magistrate Compton?
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy? Yes. Magistrate Robinson? Yes. Magistrate Dodson?
Yes.
Magistrate Varney?
Yes.
Judge Daskins?
Yes. Executive session.
And not authorize any necessary transfers and interfund
okay.
transfers to pay the bills, payroll, health, and life insurance.
Motion.
Second.
You got the motion and everything?
Yes.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson?
Yes.
Magistrate Compton?
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy? Yes. Magistrate Robinson? Yes. Magistrate Dodson?
Yes.
Magistrate Varney?
Yes.
Judge Daskins?
Yes.
Acknowledge receipt of the treasurer's financial statement for the third quarter ending March 31st, 2018. At the next court meeting, that'll be on the 17th, I'll have the fourth quarter, June 30 financial statement to end this fiscal year.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson?
Yes.
Magistrate Compton?
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy?
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson? Yes. Magistrate Dodson?
Yes.
Magistrate Varney?
Yes.
Judge Daskins?
Yes.
Acknowledge receipt of the treasurer's, adoption of a resolution approving the execution of the fiscal year 1819 County Road Aid Co-op contract and authorization for the judge to sign any and all related documents. I think there's a copy of it in your packets.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson?
Yes.
Magistrate Compton?
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy?
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson? Magistrate Dodson?
Yes.
Magistrate Varney?
Yes.
Judge Diskins?
Yes.
Authorize the following checks. The first check is to Kentucky State Treasurer for the Kentucky Board of Veterinary Examiners to pay the euthanasia certification for Elizabeth Lell at the animal shelter. Total check amount will be $50. A check to Classic Printing for adoption contracts and intake cards at the shelter, $360. And a check to Rita Justice for settlement of a claim for donated sick pay, $7,500.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson?
Yes.
Magistrate Compton?
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy? Yes. Magistrate Robinson? Yes. Magistrate Dodson?
Yes.
Magistrate Varney?
Yes.
Judge Diskins?
Yes.
That's all I had, Judge.
All righty. I need Bobby, the KRS for the executive session.
At this time, Judge, I'd like to make a motion that we go into executive session in accordance of KRS 61.810, paragraph C, discuss proposed or pending litigation, and paragraph F, discussion of Pacific personnel matters.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson?
Yes.
Magistrate Compton?
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy?
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson? Yes. Magistrate Dodson?
Yes.
Magistrate Varney?
Yes.
Judge Diskins?
We will be in recess for a few minutes. The court meeting will resume. Justin?
Yes, Judge. Gentlemen, the following items are up for approval. It is approval to move Bradley McCoy from loader at Solid Waste Area 5 to loader at Solid Waste Area 1 at the same rate of pay. Approval to hire Austin Atkins temporarily as a loader at Solid Waste Area 2 at a 2H rate of pay effective 6/21/18. Approval to hire Clay Thacker temporarily as a truck driver at Road Lot Number 3 at a 3H rate of pay effective 6/22/18. Approval to hire Kenneth Brown temporarily as a packer driver at Solid Waste Area 1 at a 3H rate of pay effective 6/25/18. Approval to hire James Lester temporarily as a loader at Solid Waste Area 5 at a 2H rate of pay effective 6/25/18. Acknowledge the retirement of John Doug Hayes effective 6/30/18. Approval to move Jessica Epling to head of housekeeping to replace Shirley Dameron, who retired at the Judicial Center at a 1A rate of pay effective 6/18/18. Approval to move Jeff Stanley temporarily to replace Bruce Anderson in solid waste cleanup at a 2A rate of pay. Approval to hire Whitney Hall as a helper at the animal shelter at a 2H rate of pay. That is all, Judge.
These are my recommendations and my motion. Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson?
Yes. Oh,
Magistrate Compton?
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy?
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson? Yes. Magistrate Dodson?
Yes.
Magistrate Varney?
Yes.
Judge Diskins?
yes. For approval and discussion, Mountain Water District Annual Update. Roy, would you come to the podium, please?
I would like to say good afternoon to everyone. I just come here to speak on behalf of Mountain Water District today, kind of give you an annual progress report for the district. I have come this time last year, or close to it, and just want to come back this year and kind of give you an update. One of the first things I'd like to point out to the fiscal court, we do have 2 reappointments that have been requested to be reappointed, and that would be the chairman, Michael Blackburn, and our vice chairman, Eddie Hurley. Or do you take that into consideration? In regards to the progress report, this is from last year to this year. The district is returned to in-house operations July 18, 2016. The Board of Commissioners and the staff, MWD felt it's important that we share our valued customers and public some of our accomplishments since then. And that's what I'm basically going to go through today, just kind of go over a report. I'm just going to hit the highlights because I know you'll have a very busy day, but you'll have a copy of it, I'm sure, with you. You can review it. Also, for our customers and for the public to review, we'll have it on our website shortly so everyone can read it. Basically, the Mountain Water District is a very large utility district. We have 1,000 miles of line, 130 some booster pump stations, 100 and some storage tanks. Just to give you an idea, our infrastructure is very large. If you go to central Kentucky or someone in comparison, they don't even really compete to the size infrastructure we have. Since the return to in-house management, the district has experienced an increase in operating cash flow and a decrease in short-term debt. This has improved the cash flow and allowed the district to pay off its short-term debt and other some of the cash flow issues that we may have had as far as. We paid off also the balance owed to our previous contractor, and we're continuing to make needed repairs on the facilities and infrastructure. We got much work to do, but the district is now financially able to look toward a positive future. We're again to make a difference in regards to capital infrastructure repairs and developing replacement plans to address issues in our aging infrastructure. Some of the things that we have keyed on or been able to key on is just like our booster pump stations. Some of them very outdated, aging infrastructure. We have personally jumped on those, and we've done quite a few repairs on our booster pump stations, anywhere from just replumbing to total replacement. And just to give you an idea on where some of the money is being spent. By getting into this program of doing our booster pump stations, we've also been a part of the AEP program as far as cost incentive to save costs in electricity. The district put in more efficient pumps, VFDs, and other things in our booster pump stations to save money, and it provides a better service to our quality to our customers and also cost savings. The current board is very engaged in operations. They stay on top of things, day-to-day operations, and what we're doing and how we're moving forward. The district is also continuing its efforts to work with the Division of Water and the City of Pikeville and other quality professionals to continue to improve the water quality within our system. The district is proud of the hard work and diligent efforts of our staff to produce and distribute quality water to the residents of Pike County, and will continue to improve upon our policies and our facilities in order to continue to ensure the quality, safety, and reliability of essential service we provide. One thing I do want to point out to the fiscal court is that Public Service Commission is statewide reassuring that other utility districts are now utilizing their water loss form. The water loss form we've been currently using is Kentucky Rural Water Associations and not Public Service Commissions. So you will see a slight increase when we have to convert to that form in our water loss. But just to point out for the year 2017, well, let me backpedal. One of the things with the PSC form and our form is we do accounted for and unaccounted for water loss versus the Public Service Commission is revenue versus non-revenue. And we are sitting down and talking to PSC in regards to some of the comparisons. To give you an idea overall for what we pushed forth through the year 2017, we worked real hard on the water loss percentage as far as working on leaks and searching for the leaks. We were able to cut down our water loss our production at the plant by 4% in water loss savings, and 10% on purchased water, such as where we purchased from City of Pikeville and City of Williamson. And that reflected in, and also cost savings in electrical as far as some of the stuff that's involved, of a cost savings of about $330,000 for the year 2017. And that just gives you an idea. We're staying on top of it, trying to tighten the system up best we can. The district is also looking at what we could do in the future as far as replacing the infrastructure to help tighten up the system even more to meet the necessary percentage that the Public Service Commission requires. We made progress with several projects over the last year, which I've attached also a construction update on your sheets that you have there as far as ongoing projects and what's going on in the district as far as construction. Some of those projects are such as the Phelps relocation of booster pump 1 and 2 out of the floodplain and into more, they were flooding quite a bit, so we're able to get those up out of the floodplain. And there's just different things. The ongoing project for Belfry Pond, Sewer project, we're in the final stages of having the funding completion for it. One of the things that's on your agenda today will be to sign an easement for us to lay our lines within the county's road system that covers the Belfry Pond area. And that's just basically taking the steps through the process of rural development for us to get the funding to have the easement. In the last 2 years, the district is considered being very challenging, but our management and our staff and our board members has really worked diligently and hard, put forth the effort to get things accomplished. We have a great staff and we have a great board, and they work hard to get things accomplished to where we want to be. And we hope to continue moving forward in the future. And once again, I will point out to the public, our customers, that this will be soon put on our website for them to read our annual progress report. And like I said, you have on there your list of projects. And I think that's about all, unless someone here has questions for me.
Just hold on a minute. Approval for the county road easement agreement with the Mountain Water District for the Belfry Pond Creek sewage project. And I need a vote on that. No, wait a minute. You've already described that, haven't you?
Pardon?
The approval for the county road easement agreement with Mountain Water District for the Belfry Pond sewage project. Were you ready for that to be approved?
Yes, sir.
All right, I need a motion to approve.
Judge, can we ask him some questions on what he just talked about before you get into this?
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody else got anything, I've got a few. Roy, what are y'all doing about your water loss? I know we all got a letter here, a while back talking about the water loss y'all were having, and I just wonder what y'all been able to do. Are you correcting some of the problems?
It's a statewide issue, which you know. And Public Service Commission has a benchmark of 15% of their requirement. So they'll send a letter out if nobody meets the benchmark of 15% period. And that's just standard for them. But what we've done over the last year, as far as our in-house numbers go, we've dropped the water loss 8% last year, our in-house numbers that we have. And like I said a minute ago there, we saved $330,000 for the year 17, but just tighten the system up and going after the leaks harder and searching for the leaks to find them and making the repairs necessary to tighten up the system. So we did save $330,000 last year in regards to that. We cut back our production by 4% at our plant, and we cut back almost 10% of what we purchased from the city of Williamson and the city of Powell combined.
Another thing, Roy, me and you talked here a while back, is our sewage rates. The people that don't have the water, but they have the sewer, they pay a flat rate, is that right?
They pay the rate equal to the amount of water that they use.
Water that they use?
Yes, sir, they purchase.
Well,
In other words, if you utilize 4,500 gallons, that's what you get billed for in a sewer, not unless you're on a septic tank or something else.
But I'm getting a lot of calls, people that don't use your water, they use your sewer, and they're getting a bill like $80.
They should get an average bill based on the average water loss. If they're not buying water or don't have a water meter, then they're paying probably for the average use, is what they're doing.
Is $79.80, $75.80, is that the average water use?
I would say it's average sewer bill. 75 to 80 range should be probably average sewer bill.
But I mean, is that averaged on what water they would use? A lot of people said their water bill wouldn't be $75 or $80, but they still have to pay that for sewer.
No, it's based on the gallons you use. It's a different rate than water and the sewer are separate. In other words, if water is $80, that don't mean your sewer is another 80. Whatever you're utilizing in your water from the meter, like say 4,000 gallons or 4,500 gallons, that's what you'll use at the sewer rate.
Well, what I'm saying is, these people don't have water, so there's no way you can determine the water they use.
Right. Then they're paying the average bill rates, what they're doing.
Close $80 a month.
Right. They're paying
for sewer.
They're paying what the average customer uses, is what that is. They'll have a set number for that. So what they'll be on it.
Well, you know, I didn't know the average was that much. I know mine usually runs between $40 to $50. And we have some people that's got bills $189 in Phelps area for water and sewer. And to me, I think that's an awful lot of money to have to pay for sewer and water.
When I say average, I'm talking about average per gallons, because that'd be based on a different rate for sewer. It's not gonna be the same as the water. It's based on how much you're using. And somebody that don't have water will pay the average bill rate. In other words, if the average bill is 4,500 gallons for water, whatever the treated rate is for sewer will be for that 4,500 gallons.
But wouldn't you say that would be a pretty high water and sewer bill?
Well, based on what we submitted to Public Service Commission and the size of our system, you know, that's what we come back, that's what it's taking for us to function. I mean, that's what they give you is, they don't give you a large profit or margin, they give you what it's taken to function the system. You know, when you get into sewer, you're getting into something that's a lot more costlier than it is water.
Y'all are $900,000, you say, to the good for last year?
Right now, don't hold me to this, but I think we've got close to $500,000 in our, hold on, close to $500,000 in the cash in bank.
I understand that you gotta make money to repair your leaks and everything.
Correct.
But the water should be a nonprofit organization, right? You just be able to, you not make money, but break even.
Right, but that was all kind of up in the beginning of it. That is slacked off. In the beginning, we were higher. This is starting to dissipate some now. But as far as having the money there, the district is, you know, is making repairs and replacing stuff now. I mean, by the time we get to the point that we can get a program to replace more and more items, that money's not going to be there as far as replacement of infrastructure.
But I've had people say, you know, we're gonna just unhook from the sewer line.
Well, then
Can they do that if they've got a working system?
not according to the Kentucky State Plumbing Code.
If their system is working, they're not allowed to hook back up on it?
That would have to be, talk to the county health department on that one. They come over to our office one day. What I understand, when they sit down and talk to us over there in a board meeting, I don't think anyone can discontinue or disconnect from the services available. If you did that, then your rates would go out the roof.
Well, you know, when your water and sewer is more than your electric bill, then there's a problem somewhere as high as our electric bills are. You know, I'm just speaking up for the people that call and complain about the problems. They probably need to come over to the Mountain Water Board.
Well, once
Speak
again,
with you guys, but I'm taking these calls, and I'd say the rest of the magistrates are too, that their sewer is like $70 to $80, a flat rate. They don't have water.
right, that's what the flat rate is based on. The average customer usage is what it's based on.
I'm not trying to make it look bad on you, Roy. I'm just
Well, in the district,
telling you the problems that we are having out in the county. You know, we're hearing these calls and things that we need to talk to y'all about, and I guess probably at the board meeting would be the proper place to.
in the district's defense, once again, I reiterate what I said a minute ago. The size of our infrastructure and our system is no comparison to you get into a flat country where you have gravity-fed sewer lines. You don't have forced main grinder units. These homes utilize a grinder unit that will fail based on, you know, a certain amount of time that they're in there. We replace those. We do have a large vast of infrastructure, but, you know, I don't know what to tell you about the rates. In the past, I don't know whether, you know, whoever's made the decision-making to take on these large projects need to know that, I guess, overall, things will increase in time, just like buying a home, you're going to have to make repairs and you have to replace things, and it's going to cost you more and more, I guess, as time passed. It is not going to be like it was 1920s, you know, buy a two before to buy one now. It's just going to be the cost of us dealing with what's inside our infrastructure.
Well, what's going to happen is we're going to force the people to have to disconnect somewhere if they can't afford to pay it, then they're going to have to look at another alternative. And I don't want to see it come to that. I want to see us grow. You know, water and sewer is important.
Well, I understand your point. One of the things they do point out in the state plumbing code is if this goes by a home and their house is within a certain distance and they can hook up, then they can hook up. See, not everybody's hooked up on these projects. So if you don't have all the customers on there, just for example, let's say that, I don't know, you have a mile of line with 200 customers that you've signed up, but you have the potential for 400, you know, you see the difference in your rates. It's going to be more for the less people you sign up. So somebody needs to take into consideration, I guess, do you want to make it that everyone has to be fully signed up in order to do a project? Or do you want to look at the alternative of someone paying a minimum bill because it's available? They don't utilize it, but it's available because it goes by their home. I mean, you just have to look at different alternatives. That'd be something to sit down and brainstorm to try to see what the answer would be.
But it's hard to make a man pay for something that he don't need. I mean, if he got a working system, what you're saying is he still has to pay a rate and keep his system, although he don't hook up on it. Is that what you're saying?
Well, it'd just be what the fiscal court would decide in what direction they want to go in as far as making.
I don't think it's the fiscal court's
or the district's
responsibility
decision, either one.
It's the health department, in my opinion, that told the people when they put the lines in, if your system is working, you don't have to hook up. The fiscal court didn't tell them that. I mean, that was, you guys, when y'all were hooking them up, they said, if you got a working system, you don't have to hook up on the sewer. So now you're telling that the fiscal court has got the responsibilities of.
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that people need to sit down and review this more thoroughly from each perspective. You know,
Don't they have an option of whether or not to hook up on city sewer? I mean, it's not mandatory, is it, if they have?
It's nothing made mandatory at the board or the court, either one.
Right, and that's what I was thinking. I know the big argument that I always heard was when you all or the city came in and ran the sewer, that if they didn't hook up, if they hooked up at the time, they'd get a free tap fee, and if they didn't, it was going to cost them $2,000 or $3,000 down the road if they changed their mind.
Right, that's because probably the funding was made available to give them a free tap at the time.
Yeah.
Correct.
Let me ask you this. When you all did that last rate study that was done for Mountain Water, the kind of the stair-stepped.
Correct.
Now, who did that study for you all?
The study was performed, I think, by some engineering, if I remember right. I'd have to go back and look and see who did
Was
the
that,
study.
and I've talked to
in combination with our legal counsel with the Public Service Commission and the district working with them.
Okay, and that was before they terminated UMG's contract, correct?
Correct.
Were there fees built into that study when they were trying to figure out, because I know obviously there were some financial problems, but I reckon what I'm trying to get at is there a chance in the future maybe that your all's rates might be dropped because of your all's savings, I mean, even if it's minimal?
I understand what you're saying, minimal. I guess that'd be something that have to be reviewed by the board.
Okay. When's y'all's next board meeting?
Be the last Wednesday of the month of next month.
Okay.
At 10 a.m.
Okay. I know you got a tough job, but we're like Helen said, we're getting hit with a lot of questions too. And I had some other questions I won't get into today, but about your service area north of Pikeville that the board voted, I reckon, to give away at one time. But we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
Roy, I've got one more thing, then I'm gonna quit. This cutoff period, you talked about that the other day.
Uh-huh.
Did you have a chance to talk to your board members?
I have not had
about the possibility of other than 15 days, give them a 30-day notice before you disconnect them?
I have not sat down and talked to him about it yet. I know the one you talked about, it was 21 days on it. Previously, before this, it was in that range, 30 to 45 days by the time that you have a turnaround. From the bill itself in the beginning, it's probably 30 days from the very first bill, okay?
I know a lot of people
But past the due date, it is 15, beyond that.
A lot of people say their check might come at a later date than their water bill, and they might get cut off if they don't have it paid. Right now, it's 15 days, ain't it?
Past the deadline of the due date. Yes, correct.
And, they've got to pay quite a bit of money to get hooked back up, pay for a disconnect and a connect, right? And a deposit.
Yes, sir.
I think it's something that the board needs to look at. You can take it back and ask them to give the people a little more notice before they cut them off. You know, I don't think 30 days would be too much of a notice to give them to get their bill in.
I'll talk to the board and I'll make this presentation to them.
That's all I've got.
Thank
Hey,
you.
Roy, I got one more quick question. Do you know right offhand how much the rate increase was on the water and the sewer? I know it was kind of graduated, but do you know how much of an increase it was?
All I can be doing is guessing in my head without telling you the truth, or not telling you the truth, but I'm thinking the water was somewhere around 30%. Sewer's
quite a bit higher, wasn't it?
yeah, it was over 100%. Because we was losing money in sewer. And they don't want the water to supplement the sewer as a crutch.
Okay. All right, that's all I have.
Hey, Roy, according to the letter that we got with this stuff, water loss in 2017 was 22%.
Yeah, based on our in-house documentation and not by the new form of PSC.
Okay, and then by that same documentation, though, the water loss in 2016 was 36.56%, wasn't it?
We dropped it 8%. It was a little over.
30 then?
You'll have to bear with me. Let me look here.
I read 36.56 there, Roy, somewhere.
It may be, but I'm thinking it was 8.25% is what we dropped it for the year.
Which that'd be 14.5% that you dropped it, if that's the case then.
Based on, I'm pretty sure it was 8.25.
Okay.
Pretty confident on that one. And like I said, we dropped it about 8.25%. We cut back 4% in production and 10% in purchase. And it ended up being about $330,000 in cost savings.
Okay, that's all I've got.
Roy, I'd like to add one more thing. You can convey on to the board that I think, and the court thinks that they're getting this problem under control. You know, we had a serious problem. We was going in the red, and now y'all bringing it out. And on the other hand, you know, it's hard to say the things I've been asking you to try to do. You know, maybe they can get together and figure out a medium that they can work together to give people a little better rate than what they have been getting. But, you know, the board over there, when they went in, it was in bad situation. And I think they're trying to do the right thing. That's all I have.
Thank you.
Now we need approval for the county road easement agreement with Mountain Water for the Belfry Pond Sewage Project. Need a motion.
I've got a couple of questions on that first. Roy, in the latest meetings that we had over there, did everybody come to grips about how much money possibly that their sewage bill is going to be?
It'd be what the current bill is right now.
Which is what?
The average bill runs in the upper 70s, if I'm correct, average bill.
And that's what their bill would be?
Yes.
Regardless of what water they use?
No, it's based on the volume of water. I said average bill is what I was explaining. Hold on one second. Phase 3 of the rates, when it kicked in fall of 2017, your first 2,000 gallons is $37.73. Okay? Anything over 2,000 gallons is $16.17 per thousand. Yes, sir. The average bill is, we base it on 4,500 gallons. Now, if you use less than that, your bill will be less. But if you utilize around 4,500 gallons, your bill would be $78.15.
Now, what would my water bill be for that same amount?
I do not have the water rates with me.
Up to 2,000 would be $25, I can tell you that.
I think it's 25 first 2,000, I believe.
25.45.
Yeah.
For the first 2,000.
I think some of the older people over there, Roy, in my district, really don't understand, and they're trying to come to grips with it. Yes, they want the sewage and they want the water, but if it's going to cost them $150 a month, I don't know if they can afford it or not. And if they're on a system now that is being used and approved by the health department, they've called and asked me, do they have to sign up on it? And I told them, I said, you better get that from somebody else beside me.
Yeah, they did get that from the health department.
Yeah.
But just for another note, we did sign up approximately 200 people for the project.
Yeah, I got you. Now, the other thing is that on the easement that we're giving you on the roads and stuff, Mountain Water District is going to be responsible for putting those roads back in the same condition they were in before
Yeah,
they...
the contractor will be bonded that does the project and work. He bonds what he does.
Okay. All righty.
It's just basically a step in the process of being able to get the rural development loan.
Roy, do we still have the same contract that we had years ago about if Mountain Water damages a road, then they're responsible for putting it back the way it was before they started?
We always have an agreement. It's in any agreement we do as far as contracts with the contractor that does work for us. Like, in other words, we got the Belfry Pond project. If they do work, they have to put it back as good or better than the condition it was in. And so they're bonded and they have to make those repairs.
I know Charlie had a situation here a few weeks ago, me and him was talking about it, and he was cutting the road, and used to they'd bore under the road.
Yeah, we got it resolved, though.
Okay.
No problem.
That's all I've got, Judge.
I need a motion to approve.
You make a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson?
Yes.
Magistrate Kempton?
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy?
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson? Yes. Magistrate Dodson?
Yes.
Magistrate Varney?
Yes.
Judge Teske?
Yes. All right, now, appointment of the Mountain Water Board, Michael Blackburn and Eddie Hurley. I need a motion for that.
You just need a motion to reappoint? It's your motion, that's
I
what
want to reappoint Michael Blackburn and Eddie Hurley.
Second.
Motion. Second. Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson?
Yes.
Magistrate Kempton?
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy?
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson? Yes. Magistrate Dodson?
Yes.
Magistrate Varney?
Yes.
Judge Teske?
Yes. All right.
You have
Thank
any other
you.
questions?
You finished?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much,
Thank
Roy.
you.
Thank you, Roy.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Approval of Floyd County's board member appointment, David Ellis, to the Big Sandy Regional Industrial Development Authority. Herbie?
Yeah, Judge, this is Floyd County's
I'm doing it pretty hard.
member, and Judge Hale is the present member, and he had to resign because of certain circumstances. And for anybody that wants to know, the Big Sandy Regional Industrial Development Authority was organized as a result of a nonprofit entity in 1997 and amended in 1999 to include membership as a regional industrial authority with representation from the eastern Kentucky counties of Floyd, Johnson, Magoffin, Martin, and Pike. And this board is responsible for the development, management, and marketing of the Honey Branch Park. The members are appointed by the judge executives and approved by the fiscal courts from each of the member counties and serve with the authority to conduct business involving the acquisition, financing, and developing of regional economic development, including industrial park projects. And this is the member here is David Ellis, and he's proposed by the Floyd County. He's a just a regular citizen, and that's their recommendation.
So,
We're just voting on their recommendation.
Yes.
has anybody ever voted against the recommendation?
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know of any.
No, it's theirs.
Okay,
We recommend people, and they recommend people.
That's right.
Yeah.
so we're just voting on that recommendation.
Yeah, it's a joint county, board.
This is their representative, yeah.
I need a motion to approve.
I make a motion, we approve.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson?
Yes.
Magistrate Crumpton?
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy?
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson? Yes. Magistrate Dodson?
Yes.
Magistrate Varney?
Yes.
Judge Teske?
Yes. Second reading of a proposed ordinance amending the Pike County Administrative Code, Section 435, fringe benefits, 1, life insurance and hospitalization. Keith?
Y'all go ahead and read the changes or the pertinent part of the changes. The following fringe benefits will be provided. This is the way it'll read. I'll read the parts that were struck. It says full-time employees shall be provided with a $20,000 term life policy. That's changed to $30,000. Court will pay the premium for this policy. Effective date of coverage will be 30-day calendars after the first date of employment. That's going to be changed. That part will be changed. The effective date of coverage shall be the first day of the month following 30 calendar days from the effective date of employment. Under the Section B, hospitalization, where it reads now, it says full-time employees are entitled to participate in hospitalization, a surgical benefit plan that is provided by the court. The court may pay the full premium for employees enrolling in the plan. Nothing is changed up to that part. The part that's changed is the following parts deleted or changed. The effective date of coverage shall be 30 calendar days after the first date of employment. That will change to say the effective date of coverage shall be the first day of the month following 30 calendar days from the effective date of employment. All participants, the rest of it remains the same. All participating employees are subject to the terms and conditions of group life insurance programs provided by the court. That's it in summary of the change of Section 435.
I need a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call.
Magistrate Anderson?
Yes.
Magistrate Crumpton?
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy?
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson? Yes. Magistrate Dodson?
Yes.
Magistrate Varney?
Yes.
Judge Teske?
Yes. Approval to cancel fiscal court meeting for July the 3rd, 18. I need a motion to approve.
Motion.
Have we took care of all business that we need as far as bills and all that stuff then?
Yeah, this is all taken care of.
Okay.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson?
Yes.
Magistrate Crumpton?
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy?
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson? Magistrate Dodson?
Yes.
Magistrate Varney?
That means the next regular scheduled court meeting will be July the 17th?
Yep,
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Judge Teske?
all right. Magistrate's comments.
I don't have any comments, Judge.
I don't have any, Judge.
Leo?
No. I just want to thank everybody that worked on that budget, you know, to get it approved.
All right.
Judge, I'd like to say that this past week, we've had a pretty busy week. And with the budget and all the flooding that has happened here in the county. And, you know, I want to say the men were on top of it. We didn't get it all cleaned up in one day, but we're working on it. We still got trees down in the creeks, and we still got roads that's got break-offs that we have to repair. And we're working on it as we can. We've been kind of short-handed this week. We had 3 men where we normally have 5, had 2 of them on vacation at one time that hurt. And just doing the best we can do, and I want the people to know if they've got a problem, if they call, we will try to take care of it for them. And I'd like to update the people on our river trails and our four-wheeler trails. I think that we're farther ahead than we ever have been. We've got some agreements with Jim has got a lot of property. It's been agreed on for us to use as trails, and we started our first river trail last week, but the water and the rain has slowed us down. Hopefully we'll get back to start that, and I'm thinking it is really going to bring a lot of people in for tourism once we get these trails opened up and get them going. And I just want to let people know that the rain has slowed us down, but we will get back started here probably first part of next week, weather permitting. That's all I have.
Judge, and echo a few things that Ed Hillman said about this rain and the flash flooding that we had over in my district. We had 2 or 3 areas hit pretty hard. A lot of it was just some drains getting stopped up, but there was some damage done too. So we're out there working on that, and I want to tip my hat to my road crew for they came out that night even and done some work. So you know they're been Johnny on the spot, but we've got some work to do. We understand that, and got to mention the Pride organization and my senior citizens. They senior citizens over there today or the other day, they had a little party of some kind, and those ladies, 80 and 90 years old, having the time of her life, it really tickled me to just see that. Thank you, Judge.
All right.
Judge, I've got one thing. I just sat and looked at that roof back there, and I wondered where we stand on that. You know, we were going to, Paul's not here right now, we were going to try to get some bids to try to get that fixed. And them guys are going to have to get them a hard hat back there or get out from under that bad top. It's looking pretty rough.
It is?
Yeah. It's in the budget to fix it.
Have we got to let it out for bid or anything yet?
Oh, Frankie got the bids in.
Pardon?
I wasn't at the last meeting, and it might have been took up then, but my wife had eye surgery, and I had to be off that day.
Jenny, what did, we got the bids back on the roof. What?
Have we?
Yes, they did accept a bid. Remember, it was in the last court meeting.
And I think it's Codell, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We see veterans. Wasn't Codell.
I think they were going to do that training today, and I think it got off.
Yeah. Does the court have to sign some more documents? Okay. Okay, all right.
We ain't got no list of public speakers. No. We're gonna let that woman get up and speak.
She's not here.
Yeah, she's sitting back there.
Oh, that's a newspaper woman.
Oh,
I
okay.
mean, that's Keith's opponent, and that's Bradley.
Oh, okay.
Judge, I guess while she's waiting now, you can go ahead and move on. Is that right, Jenny?
Anyway, Jackie Darrell?
Yeah, I got a few comments. Several of us went down to the conference, but no matter where you're at, if you got this telephone, you can be on the job. I think it was Wednesday morning, started at 6:45, getting a call about a tree. The state police called me, and the men responded real quick. Everybody answered the phones in all the districts, and we got out and took care of the tree that the state police called about. And District 6 and District 5 was hit, fairly hard. Had several problems, different areas, and people was calling me, and I was in contact with Danny and JB, and District 1 had some problems with the slide, but as I was talking to Ike, and to solve a little problem, we had 2 men off over in the Phelps area, so I wasn't quite as bad as you thought him, and I borrowed the Casey boy from District 1 and let him work with our crew there, and he's staying till today, and I'm sending him back Monday with Mikey. But all the crews went out and responded, and they was out to 2 o'clock. I think Mikey out here, and Ike was out to about maybe around 4 that night. And so they've all worked hard and put a lot of time into it. And I know it's a job, but they get paid to do. But, when the call comes, those guys gets out there and works extra hours where they should have been with the family or some other thing they had to do, but they come out to make it safe for the people to travel. And you can't make everything perfect in a storm. It is what it is, and we deal with it, and we can't run from one place to next till we finish each one, and somebody's got to be first and somebody's got to be last, and some people get a little upset with that sometimes. In regard to, I'd called Danny there what Mike May was talking about earlier there, and I got to holler he was talking about up in Dix Fork, and I got hold of Danny, and he been up there, he said, a day and a half ago, and dipped out in front of the drain. The guy said it was real bad up there, Rose Bottle. He went up there, just mostly drain plugged up, and he unblocked the drain. It appears to be from the picture that guy's side of his yards fell in. Looks to me like a personal thing again, but anyway, I'm going to go over Monday or tomorrow when you look at it. In the septic tank issue y'all was discussing a year ago, I've been installing septic tanks for nearly 40 years, but we go to school every year, and the rules on that is if you put a new home in and the septic system is nearby, you got to hook up, and you got no option. But prior to that septic line getting there, there's many people spend good dollars putting systems in, and high $7, $8, maybe $10,000. And when the system comes through that, and then people have already got an approved system, and I agree with him on that. You shouldn't have to; those people shouldn't have to spend that kind of money, then redo it and just throw it away and disregard it. So we need to look at that. And another good positive thing that happened Tuesday. I was relating, and Wednesday really, and I was corresponding back to the Wolford boy on the graves and West, the funeral home guy, and for a road crew, we had little problems because of rain and a little bit of, just things happened. But anyway, we got the graves up, and that's took care of. Got that finished Wednesday as far as getting the graves up, and now we're putting the road back in order and got that in gear, and I'm tickled to death to get that out of the way. Thank you.
Jimmy Dale?
We just had a appliance buyback, and we've done been to 3 lots, and we'll be at Marbone Road lot. Anybody got any old stoves or frigidaires, and paying $10 a piece for them to get them out of the system. We'll be at Marbone Road lot next Tuesday from 9 to 3. Anybody's got any kind of old appliance, Conversation District will pay for it, and be more you get out of the junkyard.
Where's it gonna be, Jim?
We're gonna be at Marbone Road lot, and then we'll be at, on the 17th, be at Phillips Road lot.
On July 17th?
July 17th, and July the 24th, be at Belfry Road lot. We got 3 more to go yet, and as Bobby says, keep Pike County clean, it's to our own advantage.
Has that been advertised in the paper? Has that been advertised in the paper?
Been on radio also.
Okay.
Jim, what would they do, just bring it into the road lot?
Road lot, and they'll write you a check for it, and then solid waste department will pick it up and take it to the scrap.
What about all that stuff them boys have been picking up and got piled up on the road lot? Can they redo that? Can't sell that?
I don't think she'll do that.
Well. Pretty good pile of it over there.
You have anything?
He's got,
You have any? Oh,
Frankie's got one more thing.
On the roof, it was,
Frankie,
recorded, last court meeting, wasn't it?
all right.
Hey, Hillman, at the last court meeting, they approved the bid on the roof. It was $215,000. I signed the agreement day before yesterday to send back to them so they can go ahead and order them the roofing material. And I'm not sure exactly when they're going to start to replace it, but it should be soon.
And I know that Terry told me today that he had talked to them. Or something.
Right.
They were planning on bringing a crane in right like this week, and he told them to hold off till the first next.
Frankie, I've been wondering, is that contract for the inside and outside or just outside?
Just for the outside.
What are we gonna do about this? Looked like something pretty big hanging down back there. I don't know if that's paper or plaster. If it was to fall and hit somebody, it might be a problem.
We've got a lot of roofs, tiles, and things like that up on the fourth floor that need to be replaced too once we get the roof on. I don't think I'd fool with it until the roof's on there because that kind of range is. But that contract's just for the outside roof.
Did we include the paint?
We had estimated 250,000. We had budgeted 250,000 for the roof, and the bid it came in at 215. Terry's supposed to get a quote from that same company to see how much it would cost to do the clock tower while they're up there. And if it falls within line of what we had budgeted for the roof, we'll put it out to bid. And where they're already going to have the scaffold and everything up from Main Street, it may be cheaper to go ahead and get it all done now than to do it later, since I already had the scaffold in place.
Frankie, too, you might want to let them look at the front of the building out here where the statue is, up next to the top. Looks like it's pretty dingy, and I don't know if it's a gutter stopped up or what, but it's awful black looking up there. And since you're going to spend that kind of money, you might as well do it right.
Judge, I have one more thing under treasurer's business that I'd skipped over a minute ago. On our Kentucky retirement online bill, we've got a couple of outstanding pension spiking notices that go back from when that law went first into effect, and we've never paid those. I was wanting to try to see if the court wanted me to go ahead and get those cleared up on this June 30 bill, and then we wouldn't have any outstanding notices with past due invoices with
I'll make a motion and we go ahead and clear it up while you're at it.
It'd be $11,515.61. There's a sheet.
That was that sheet you gave us, right? Yes.
Right, and that lists all the different amounts for the people that they've invoiced us for.
I'll make a motion, we do it.
Second that motion.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson?
Yes.
Magistrate Compton?
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy?
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson? Magistrate Dodson?
Yes.
Magistrate Varney?
Yes.
Judge Davis?
Yes. You have anything else? You have anything? You got anything?
Judge, there's a few dates we need to bring everyone up to speed on. This Saturday, they're actually doing a float on the Tug Fork from Williamson down to the ramp we have down in South Williamson. That's being sponsored by Jessica Hackney with Hatfield McCoy Bed and Breakfast. I've been told there's maybe as many as 300 people going to be participating in that. I know the city of Williamson has been working to get some of their facilities on that side of the river dressed up for this. I know our folks have been working hard getting the ramp ready at South Williamson, so we appreciate their efforts.
Is it supposed to start at, Jim?
It's going to start at the 2nd Avenue, the BB&T flood wall. There's right below the water plant.
Yeah.
There's a walk-down ramp.
Right below it.
And it's kind of one of these anything that floats type of deals. You can bring inner tubes, you can kayak. If you've got something you're comfortable putting in the river, then they're going to do a couple miles. That's a pretty mild section of the river.
If they're just floating, how they gonna stop down there at that South Wimpson?
Very carefully.
Yeah, okay. Well, that water's pretty swift through there.
Fortunately, if the river's back down to normal, they can probably hop off
Yeah.
and walk in. But yeah, you'll have people out there in paddles and these animal toys. I mean, it's quite a spectacle. So if you want to be entertained, that'd probably be good to go to one of the bridges and check it out tomorrow. Or if you got something you want to put on the river, go join them. But that'll be going tomorrow. And then on Saturday, the 14th, we're going to be doing an ATV ride in conjunction with the Hatfield-McCoy Power Sports folks down at Black Gym. They're having an open house. And that'll leave, we'll register from 9 to 10. It'll leave there at 10 o'clock. We'll come back by 3. They're going to do lunch for everybody. They've got some giveaways, so we want everybody to come out and support that. The following Sunday, on the 22nd, we're going to do another mountain bike trail ride up a Ball Fork. And then the Sunday following that, on the 29th, we'll be doing another kayak bass tournament. This one will be in the South Wimpson area. They fish anywhere on the Tug Fork, and then they weigh back in there. And then the next real big event we'll have is on the 23rd of September. We'll have another road race. It'll be in conjunction with the Hatfield-McCoy Festival that'll be held 21st, 22nd, 23rd. So we've already been making arrangements with the marathon for the ride next June. They're real excited about the number of runners that express an interest to come and do the bike race. So we've got a lot of good things going on. We've got several of the relationships that we've been nurturing over the last year starting to materialize. Hillman will probably be bringing on about 3,000 acres within the next few weeks once we get all the documents in place. So we are making progress on the river, and we're making progress on the land as well. So I'd like to thank you guys for your support.
Hillman, you have any comments on that?
Pretty much covered it. Me and him been talking today, and he's got a bunch of promises that we're going to be able to sign off on in the next few weeks and extend our trails and our river trails. We're planning on doing something on the Friends of the Tug when they get it, first one completed. But I appreciate, Jim, everything you're doing. It's been a slow process, but I can see where you're going a little bit better now than what we were.
All right. County Attorney, you have comments?
Yeah, I was kind of quiet over at our office right now, which is, could be a good thing in the law office. At least if you're on the defense side, it's always good. Lost Kyle Deskins, who's been sitting in here quite a bit for us during John Doug's illness, lost his mother. Funeral arrangements are this evening, 4 to 7, and then tomorrow's the funeral tomorrow morning over at Collin in the Christian church. That's also Judge Deskins' sister-in-law. Jack Deskins' wife. So then also my brother's mother-in-law. So I assessed that on several of our families and our office family. Remember Wilma Deskins. That's all.
All right. Well, we got our budget bounced and whatever, and we have sent it to the state, so we're in pretty good shape now. So everything's better. I make a motion, we adjourn.
Anderson. Magistrate Compton.
Yes.
Magistrate Murphy.
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson. Magistrate Dodson.
Yes.
Magistrate Varney.
Yes.
Judge Deskins.
Yes.